All right, here we go with today's video. All right, the idea that came to me today was speaking a little bit about attraction and becoming the person that we want to be. I believe that by doing all the things that I talk about, you kind of create that energy on the inside. Like today, I kind of see myself sitting here with passion, with joy, with excitement. And I feel like by practicing those states, like feeling those states in my meditation and my visualization before I get on here, helps attract the ideas that I need to share with people. And I ask, I ask the higher spirit, higher divine energy, whatever it is. Like, what is it you want me to talk about? What is it you want me to share with the world? What is it? Guide me to the things that you want me to speak about, the content you want me to create. So I feel like by setting those intentions and by seeing myself already doing that, like seeing myself sit in this chair and get excited about these things, helps put myself in that state to let them come to me. But again, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna just be one time and it all be done. Like the last few times I've been doing my imagination, I was seeing myself on the stage. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not ready to be on the stage yet. So why not see myself in this chair, getting these like ideas out, like getting the ideas, having the ideas come to me to talk about. And I feel like sometimes, the law of attractions, like think good thoughts, think positive, and all this stuff will happen. And it's like, yes, it's good to think positive, but we all have negative thoughts. And sometimes it's hard not to get rid of those negative thoughts. But then sometimes you got to realize that you just sometimes have to be with those negative thoughts and feel those negative thoughts and then release them. Because again, bad stuff happens to everybody every day. It's just that it's all about how you respond to it, how you react to it. And obviously, that's not the goal, is to have bad stuff happen. I mean, it's terrible when it does, and it sucks sometimes. But sometimes you need to go through that thing to learn stuff. Like I was talking about yesterday with looking on the outside for the answers when the keys are on the inside. You know, Same thing where we're always looking on the outside to get the answers when really they're in us. We need to look what's in us and see what we can do. Now, again, like I said, the answers don't always come overnight, but you have to at least start the dialogue, the conversation, put that energy out into the universe. The universe is a mirror, and uh, and I feel like sometimes we think it's the opposite. Like we have to see it first, and it has to come to us first, and then this way. When really you have to put it out there, and then it'll come back to you. And I've noticed this too in my own life. Like I I realized this. I've read several books, but I realized that it was the opposite because I took a class one time and they said that most people get it backwards. That they think it's the law of receiving and giving, and not. It's the law of giving and receiving. And that kind of like explained the mirror perfectly. Like what you put into the world is what comes back to you. So when you keep putting out, you know, negativity and bad stuff and anger and frustration, and it's natural to feel those things, but if you keep, like, I try to, when I start to feel those things, I ask myself, okay, why am I feeling this way, and why did I handle it this way, why did I, fly off the handle. And then I kind of sit with it, meditate, and then I kind of just, think about it. And the answer, I don't have any answers off the top of my head, but they usually something comes to me and I'm like, yes, I need to handle that a little bit better. But if you keep talking about it, keep putting that energy out to the universe, then you just get more examples to be frustrated. You get more examples to be mad. You get more examples to be angry, like more situations. Like I realize, like when I get mad, if people are driving bad, I get mad. Well, I keep running into more people driving bad, and then when I finally just tell myself, hey, you know what, it's part of life, they're human beings, they made a mistake, let it go, then usually it goes back the other way. Usually I'm fine with being that way. I mean, it's very hard to do because the ego always wants to make the other person wrong and you right. And it's very hard to suck your pride up sometimes and just be the higher person. But the more you do it, the more practice. Now, again, nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't always do that, but I have more awareness to actually try and do that at times. And that's the first thing in life. We have to become aware of what's going on inside and around us and pay attention and and focus on it. Because if you don't focus on these things and you don't focus on where you want to go, you don't focus on what it is you want to do, then you're not gonna the energy does not go into that in that way. Like Tony always says, it's something along the lines of energy goes where focus goes, or focus goes where energy goes. So what, something like that. But you have to like create that, and again, sometimes it takes time. It's the awareness is first, but then you always have to like kind of remember it in those situations. And then don't get mad when you forget either, because I remember I used to do that too. I used to be like, oh my God, I'm not focusing on the right things. I forget about things. And sometimes it takes time to uh, create that new pattern of, focusing on focusing on the good stuff and not the bad stuff. So definitely, and I feel like by doing these things, by becoming aware, that creates the attraction. Like it changes your energy from within, because it was crazy. I got a good story one time. All right, here's a good one. We did this aura photography one time, and we had just did a meditation at this building. We got a picture taken, and it showed my aura, and it was like really colorful, and it was really like the color of like joy and passion and all that stuff. Whatever, I don't remember all the things, but it was crazy because the printer ran out of ink. So I went to the store to get ink, and I was all jacked up. I had a lot of energy. Everything was good. And then all of a sudden, when I'm waiting in line, there was this like angry man. You could just feel his energy around him. He just like had a frown on his face. He didn't look happy, and you could just tell it. And then he would like, when I was waiting in line, he came over and kind of got in my bubble, and then I'd kind of like move a little bit over just because I could feel the negativity and the anger and the energy. So I moved over a little bit, and then he moved closer to me, and this went on like two or three times, and I was just like, Jesus, dude, get away from me. And I go back, and then since we didn't have the ink, and we did the picture again, and when they did my aura changed during that time period because of that anger. So it kind of showed me that there is real truth in that we create our own feeling states from within, and that's what these visualizations and meditations do, is they change your state, they change your energy, they change your brain waves. And over time, if you keep doing it more and more and more, it keeps building and building and building. But it can always be skewed, like we were showing. And then, I did a cleaning thing, some energy cleaning, and I was back to being good. But it was a good reminder. It was like the universe guided us to run out of ink at that time, so we could learn a lesson of what it was trying to show me. So that's why I believe in the like everything happens for a reason, because if we wouldn't have ran out of ink, we wouldn't have had that experience. So, but again, that's why I think the law of attraction is right, but I think they left out the feeling. Like you can think all the good thoughts till the cows come home, and terrible metaphor or whatever. But anyway, but you got to actually do the work. Like for me, like I've meditated for 18 years, and it's helped me calm down. It's helped me slow down. It's helped me relax. It's helped me become more of who I am. It's helped me be more comfortable with who I am. And but these visualization, these feeling states are just like going to a different level. Like when I'm doing the visualizations before I get on here, I can feel myself speak with passion and joy, and I feel the energy and the joy and the passion, the conviction, the excitement, and I feel that with my eyes closed in my body, and just like, feel it. And then all of a sudden, by the end, if when I'm doing that stuff, then all of a sudden an idea, the attraction idea popped in my head. And I'm telling, and I'm telling myself all these things. It's almost like affirmations. Like You know, I am speaking with joy, with conviction, with excitement, with passion, with gratitude, trying to have impact on people, like just trying to feel like what it is in my body as I'm doing it, as I'm visualizing with my eyes closed and sitting on here doing this camera. And then all of a sudden I start to feel that way. Like I'm already like you have to be that, become that person first. You have to be the attraction, not just the thoughts, the feeling and the thoughts. And then I start to say, you know what, I got this. I can do this. I can do anything. I just got to create it with focus, with power, with energy. And then you start to almost like it is kind of like a pump up in a way, but and then but then you have to actually do the actions too, because again, you're not going to get anywhere without doing something. It's not just going to come to you sitting on the couch. I mean, I hate to break it to you, and it's just not going to. Mike Dooley said it the same way. I remember years ago, he was like, he's like, it ain't gonna find you if you're sitting at home on your couch the whole time. You got to just go out into the world and see what happens. Just go anywhere. He's like, just get in your car and drive somewhere and see what happens. And now that I forgot all about that, but yeah, then I started doing that, and then stuff started happening. It's not Stranger Than Fiction, the movie with Will Ferrell, where the drama comes to him and with a wrecking ball and smashes an apartment when he stays home. But who knows? Maybe it will happen. I don't know. But I think you got to get out into the world, or you at least got to try something anywhere. Start anywhere. Like I just started with little stuff, and 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 watch it and just build it. Because again, I remember watching these people years ago that were where I was 3 years ago, where I'm trying to inspire those people that were where I was 2.5, 3 years ago, when I wasn't really sure of myself. I wasn't really sure if I could do this. I was scared to get on here and talk. And we all have those, feelings of doubt and all that stuff. And again, I still get them too, but I'm learning how to transform them, transmute them into energy by visualizing myself on a regular basis, seeing myself be this person, sit in this chair, talk to you guys, encourage you guys to do whatever it is that you love. Not everybody's different. That's the thing that makes us different. We're all human beings, but we all have different desires, and we all have different things that we enjoy. We all have things that we love. We all have things that somebody else might not have, and we all have something inside us that might help someone else too. I mean, again, I don't know how many people's videos I've watched where I'm like, wow. And again, it just, brings me joy to kind of guide people, help people, show people the way, show people that we can do more than we thought. Maybe we've been trained through society that we're not good enough, that we have to compete with others, that we have to be better than others. And the only thing you have to be is better than, Dean says it's the best. The only thing you have to do is be better than the person you were yesterday, and strive to be better than the person you were, and keep that going and going and going. It's, I think they call it Kaizen or something, how do you get to the top of the mountain one step at a time, one day at a time, one action at a time. And then all of a sudden, the little actions, like me even getting on here and doing videos when I don't want to and pushing through it. And then all of a sudden, I get a day like today where I'm like, yes, and I'm pumped and I'm excited. And those are the great days, don't get me wrong. I love those days. But at the same time, pushing through helps you get to those days, because if you don't keep pushing, and you don't keep doing little stuff regardless, even if it's just something very, 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 very small, it's something. Even if when I wasn't doing the videos, I was still doing journaling. Even little, any little action helps. Anything, reading a book, just moving for 5 minutes, anything for 5 minutes. If you don't feel, if you're really, really not feeling it that day, but at least try to do something, because sometimes when you're not feeling it, it's because you're not doing anything. I feel and I know from examples, I used to sit there and not do stuff. And I've been through these lately, even a few months ago, same thing, and the energy wasn't coming. And then now that I've started to get myself up and started to get myself moving and started to do these visualizations again, then it's starting the wheels turning, man, and it's starting the little stuff, and then it adds up over time. And then the more you do it, the more you become that person that attracts those things into your life. When you put that energy out from the inside into the universe, then the universe gives it back to you. but it's not the other way around. It's the law of giving and then receiving, not receiving then giving. So you have to take the actions, you have to do the things that you want to do, big or small, and then put that energy and focus out into the universe, and then just see what comes back. So, but anyway, that's my message for today. Become that person, be the attraction in your life, and I want to keep these videos going. So like and subscribe, share them with people, do whatever. I just want to create more. I just want to create more content so I can create more of everything so I can keep going. So thanks.